In other news, a pro-Palestinian encampment remains on the grounds of the University of Toronto for a fourth day. And demonstrators set up tents in King's College Circle at the St. George campus downtown on Thursday. Now, the school has said it is concerned about reports of threats, discriminatory language, and hate speech there. However, there are currently no plans to dismantle the camp. And for more on the campus protests at the University of Toronto and many others that have popped up at schools across North America and the globe, we're joined live by Hamza Howidy, a Palestinian Peace Advocate from Gaza who currently lives in Germany. Thank you so much for joining us on our show, Hamza. You've recently contributed several opinion pieces for Newsweek magazine about the war in Gaza. The most recent one is titled, quote, "A Message from a Gazan to Campus Protesters, You're Hurting the Palestinian Cause." What motivated you to write this article, and what is it about these campus protests you feel are hurting the Palestinian cause?
First of all, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. At the beginning of these demonstrations, I believed in it, and I supported it because I would support anyone who supports my people or the Palestinian cause. But recently, I noticed that the main reason for these protests was not their love for the Palestinians, but rather a hatred for the Jews and the Israelis. I did not see a single protest calling Hamas to surrender, even though all of them know that Hamas started this war. And even if Israel stopped this war right now, Hamas's officials say that it's only a matter of time until they start a new war. And I wanted them to call Hamas to surrender instead of glorifying them. Another reason is that in many protests I noticed that there were an anti-Semitic chants and slogans, which is totally unacceptable, even for someone like me, a Gazan who lost his home and many friends in this ongoing war. I refuse to use anti-Semitic or to tolerate it with the Palestinian cause. I want it to be showed as a tolerable and a peaceful cause, not as a violent cause.
What are some of the things, in your opinion, that would help the Palestinian cause?
I believe that they, first of all, should call Hamas to surrender, to end a major obstacle towards peace, and to call for a reconciliation and peace between the Palestinians and Israelis, because none of us is going anywhere, and we are both here to stay. They should force their government to put the Palestinians and Israelis together and put an end to this ongoing conflict instead of calling to eradicate another people.
I understand that you fled to Germany last year as an asylum seeker, and previously you were arrested and tortured twice by Hamas in Gaza. Are you able to tell us a little about what happened to you and what was life like living under Hamas rule?
Sure. In 2019, I and many Gazans started We Want to Live movement, demanding a better living conditions, demanding an election because the Palestinians did not have elections since 2006. So we started these demonstrations in the streets, demanding only a better living conditions and elections. But unfortunately, Hamas were aggressive to us, and we all ended arrested and tortured by Hamas. That happened in 2019. Also in 2023, before I leave Gaza, we protested before the war, demanding only a better living conditions. We were not there to call for elections because that was totally prohibited under Hamas. They also arrested all of us and tortured us. That caused me to lose hope in making a better future for the Palestinians. That's why I left Gaza and moved to start a new life in Europe.
We have to wrap this up, Hamza, but I wanted to get your take on, the fact that in the article you did talk about the hypocrisy at these campus protesters demonstrated by silencing and ignoring any of the criticism about Hamas's atrocities, and that the terrorist organization is not concerned with protecting Palestinians. And unlike the majority of these protesters, you actually have real-life experience living under Hamas. So does it surprise you that a lot of these protesters are very much in support of Hamas, and that they, at the same time, echo rally cries that essentially calls for the destruction of Israel and the genocide of Jews?
Before I leave Gaza, I thought that the people in the West know the reality about Hamas, but I was shocked when I came here. I noticed that there are many who glorify them and show them as the so-called resistance movement, but That's totally wrong. Even during this war, Hamas killed many children just to loot aid and resell it to the Gazans themselves. I may understand that because there is a restrictions on the media in Gaza. Not a single journalist can report anything against Hamas. But I expected more from the West. I expected them to condemn them, not to glorify them and stand for them.
Hamza Howidy, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for now, but I appreciate you taking the time to join us here on CB24. Thank you.
Thank you.